Hello, welcome to The Art of Money Saving. My name is Joshua. I'm a professional opera singer. And on this channel, I will help you discover the joys and secrets of personal finance. So I know your time is valuable and you're not going to spend the whole day watching YouTube videos, so let me cut straight to the chase. In this video, I'm going to outline 3 major mistakes that musicians make when it comes to managing their finances. Now, when you hear the word musician, perhaps you think of 2 extremes. On one hand, we have the impoverished musician that's just scraping by, gig to gig, and doing what they can to survive. And on the other hand, we have Ed Sheeran, Kylie Minogue, the multi-millionaires. But the reality is there are a lot of people in between these extremes. And I definitely fall into that camp. Number 1 is spending too much money. Now, in episodes 13 and 15 of the Art of Money Saving podcast, I interview Ashley Fabian, who is an American operatic soprano. And she said the following sentence: "Opera is a rich man's game." I think what she's trying to say is that it's a very expensive career to be involved with. We have to buy the nicest clothes. So for gents, it's the white tie and tails. For women, going on the stage, it's those big ball gowns. And it can become a very expensive career. And that's the same of any type of musician. If you're going on the stage, you feel like you have to present yourself in the nicest clothes and kind of have this lifestyle inflation. Big cars, big houses, designer clothes. And unfortunately, I think in the long term, that is going to sabotage their financial health. Dave Ramsey is a huge personal finance figure in the US, and he has this wonderful quote saying, "We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like." Are you falling into this trap? And this leads us nicely into point number 2. But before I tell you about point number 2, I would like you to press the subscribe button. I'm opera singing. I will stop singing when you press the subscribe button. Saving for your retirement is absolutely imperative. And I don't know a single musician in the UK that is self-employed that is paying into a pension. Not one. That means you're not making any provisions at all for your future retirement. Yes, whilst we know that pensions are particularly boring, snooze fest, yes we know, you have to keep in mind that your friends in other sectors have been paying into their pensions for years. And not only that, their employer will be matching their contributions, so they have double the power of building their wealth over the long term. So if you aren't paying into a pension, how are you going to survive in your retirement? That leads us back into point number 1. So if you're spending nearly all of your money all of the time, you leave no money for savings at all. And over the long term, that is an absolute disaster for your finances. So ask yourself this question: how do you plan to retire? What do you think your retirement will look like? Yes, it's difficult to look into the future when you're 50 and 60. But if you don't want to be working into your retirement doing 40, 50 hours, then you're going to need to make some provisions. I started paying into my pension in 2016, and I so regret that I didn't start paying into it sooner, because the longer that you have the money in the market, in the stock market, the more opportunity there is for it to grow over the long term. Number 3 is putting artistry above financial health. So as a musician, I understand. I absolutely adore music. I love the buzz that it gives me, the creativity. It's a fantastic job. But in current circumstances like the coronavirus, I've had to be just economically realistic that my income has gone down and down and down whilst all of the theatres have closed. And that gives you a sense of conflict, doesn't it? Because we have this artistic drive within us. We want to create, we want to make music. We feel that is our ambition, our goal in life for a lot of the time. But there is also the economic reality, and I really encourage you not to be blinded by artistry. I was chatting to a friend just a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about coming out of university or music college. And this friend was talking about the extension of student status, so living in a bohemian lifestyle, where you continue to live as a student for 10 years into your 30s, rather than taking control of your life and finding a certain amount of purpose. And I wonder whether that is falling into the trap of putting these kind of artistic blinders on yourself and moving away from a financial reality. But there's good news. It is possible to be a musician and to be financially healthy at the same time, but you just have to find your own pathway. Don't be ashamed of going away from what you think is your definition of being a musician. Think about your transferable skills, all of the different things that you can do, and embrace them, particularly in this coronavirus time. It's the perfect opportunity to branch out and to try other things. But above all, think carefully about your financial health, because it's not going to happen on its own accord. So in 2021, make some money, work towards your financial freedom, and keep making art. Keep inspiring us. We love music, we need music, but combine these two things together. My name is Joshua. I'm the creator of The Art of Money Saving, and I'm a professional opera singer. I look forward to making many, many more personal finance videos in 2021. Look forward to seeing you then. Subscribe!